But I think for Vol fans, most eyes are going to be on their starting quarterback, Joe Milton. He started here before, couldn't really hold down the job. Tennessee wound up with a big win against Vanderbilt, but it didn't look pretty in that first half. It was really the run game that took off. Marlon, I'm going to ask you. This is a guy who's the presumed starter next year, I think, for most people. How big is this game for Marlon? How big is this game for Joe Milton? It's a big game for you.
They need you, big guy. They need you.
Run the Wildcat with Marlon.
Yeah.
How big is this game for Joe Milton?
I think it's huge. You're going against a really good opponent, regardless of who's not playing in the game for Clemson. It's still Clemson, like we mentioned in the last few segments. But then also, you've seen him this season versus Vanderbilt. You've seen him in some mop-up duty. That's different. Right, you're walking out as the guy, and also the presumable guy for next year. I think this is a big game for him. I think you're gonna see a lot about his mental. For me, I would say I'm focused more on this game about his mentality. Can he get guys in and out of the huddle? Does he look like he's in control? Can him and a guy like Squirrel White create a connection? And now Tennessee fans. Got something that they're excited about, the team's excited about going into the next season. So I think it's a huge game for Joe Milton.
Yeah, I think you touched on it. To me, that's the biggest part of it is if he has a bad game, he's going to hear about it all off season, and people are going to be talking about going and getting another quarterback in the portal and start Nico, who weighs 29 pounds, judging by the photos of him. Whereas if he plays well and has a big day, I think Vol fans will get behind that and roll with it. I think it's a huge game for him, mainly to win over the Tennessee fan base.
Yeah, there are several angles from Joe's confidence to what coaches think to what his teammates think, but I don't think it's too hard to predict what fans are going to think one way or the other. If he has a big day, then you'll start to hear off-season Heisman talk. Why not? Yeah. Because he's had 2 years in the system now. If he has a tough time against Clemson, then I think the fear from fans is going to be, hey, the progress that we hoped has taken place over the last couple of years isn't there. We need to get Nico ready, and you'll hear more questions about the portal. Can we get somebody to come in and compete?
Especially if his struggles are the same struggles we've seen over and over with accuracy.
Look, to me, you've got the chance to go from overthrow Joe to Orange Bowl hero Joe. And look at the difference in those two. And I had talked about this off camera a while back. I hope they give him some easier throws. I wonder where that check down is. I wonder what you can have where you're not just trying to throw it 70 yards on the line.
We just talked about it. If they copy that Georgia defense, then they're going to be giving you some short throws. I don't know that he's going to be willing to take that.
Well, I really think you need to, and especially early to me, to get some of that confidence going.
Look, only the coaches know what they know. We're having to speculate. If he plays poorly, does he open the door to someone else winning that job this offseason? Because I think he can shut the door. I think he's the leader in the clubhouse easily. But if he doesn't play well, I just wonder if that door opens up for the coaching staff.
Hey, listen, that thing, it closes just as fast as it opens up. When you're talking about receivers, if you see receivers running down the field, they're wide open and we're missing them.
Right.
All right, now you see that frustration. You've got guys that's kind of like walking back to the huddle saying, this may not be the guy. I'll tell you this, in 2009, in the end of my freshman year, getting ready for the bowl game, Tyler Bray came on campus, and he was able to come work out with us for the bowl season. And we knew then in those practices, this cat here has got something. I think you can see a similar situation if, you've got Nico on campus now. If he's wowing guys in practice, and then now also you go out against Clemson, which is a big opponent, and Joe Milton drops an egg, you have guys questioning it going into the offseason.
And the last thing I just thought of this, forever and a day we heard that Joe Milton had practiced well, even back when he was the starter. Yeah. But did it carry over to the game? Now you're right back in that same situation, and it's going to be in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, if Joe can go kind of lift his teammates up, I said it because that's what Hendon did at times, right? I mean, he was able to make plays, and that's not to take away from what Jalen Hyatt did and the other guys. But Hendon was able to lift up the offense. They believed in what he was doing. To bring it back to the team and the players around him, if Joe has a big game, they're going to say, hey, what we've seen in practice maybe has carried over against a real quality opponent in Clemson, and that's something that would be valuable to him because if his teammates start to question, is he the guy, and they see something in Nico, then everybody's going to start asking the same question.
Then you got an open competition in the spring.
Worst case scenario for Joe Milton is if any other quarterback steps on the field in Miami. If for some reason they feel the need to, if Taven Jackson is ready and they feel the need we're going to have to put him in. That's going to make for a long, long off season for Joe Milton.
Yeah, that's a garage door. Somebody's going to try to move in a new
A
vehicle.
lot of question marks.
All right.
I like that one.
Good job, guys.